The long lunge is a really simple way to not only lengthen your hip flexors, but also strengthen them because they have to carry some load in this movement. So it's a kind of 2-for-1 bang for your buck exercise that I really like. Now this is derived from a lot of flexibility training, that's where you'll commonly see it. But again, this is just a good all-rounder that you can chuck into your normal strength work or on your days off when you're not working strength sort of thing. So to set this up, I like to have a yoga block, and that's just for my back knee. So I have a bit of tactile feedback. Then, when we set up a long lunge, a couple of things I want you to keep in mind. The front foot, I want in front of the front knee. Reason being, I'm going to encourage this hip to go deeper into hip flexion, and that means I'm going to allow this knee to also travel forward a little bit. If we have the foot back here and I'm trying to travel forward, I quickly run out of room and I might not get the entire range I'm looking for. So foot in front of the knee, that's the first thing. Then you can see I'm holding a stick here, and that's just going to help with my torso being upright, because we know that if this pelvis orientates, somewhat into a neutral position, or even with a posterior pelvic tilt, helped with an upright torso, then this back hip flexor is going to be even more of a stretch. And like I said, the yoga block is simply just for some tactile feedback, because as I go from boom here to here, it's a nice soft landing. And you can see I'm already kind of active. I've got a bit of a stretch on my hip flexor already. Now to work this, front foot in front of the knee, torso is upright, we're active in the back toe. Now, from here, your goal is to keep your exact same height that you have right now, but to lift the back knee off the yoga block, holding for the prescribed time before coming back down. That's very, very different as opposed to this. Now my back hip flexor, there's not as much load. I've taken a lot more load with this front thigh here, and I'm not working the structures I'm targeting as much. So the key with this one is to pretend there's a low ceiling above your head. You don't want to hit your head on the ceiling, so you're going to kick the back leg back using your glutes to then lift the back knee off the yoga block while staying low. And again, I was talking about this front leg sinking deeper into hip flexion. I can also do that. Bend this front knee, push it forward, sink deeper here in the hips, boom. It might just be a mil or two like I just moved, and that's it. But now there's a lot more load in this back hip flexor. It's working really hard to lengthen while also hold my lower body in place. So I like to work this in kind of 5-second bursts. That said, you can also spend active time here without support for more extended periods, and that works quite well. But a typical protocol that I'd like to adhere to is something like a 3 times 5-second isometric. So that means lifting the back leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest, and repeat 3 times to complete the set. Now, to lift this back leg, I'm actually using my left glute here to kick the heel back, and that's what's lifting the knee off. At the same time, we can play with then sinking into that front hip and pushing this knee forward. And that is the long lunge, the best way to strengthen and lengthen your hip flexor at the same time.